Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to have you here. Today is a really interesting and close topic to me, and it's all about attachment styles. I'm really excited to share my learnings and share with what I know about anxious attachment with you guys. But I would also just like to preface that I am not a professional, and if there is anything you want to learn about attachment styles, I'm going to leave some really good resources, books below. There is a quiz that can help you understand your attachment style. That's really cool. So I just wanted to preface that because I really don't want to give the impression that I am the attachment style genius, when actually I'm just coming from a bunch of experience, lots of knowledge of trying to understand the attachment style for myself. And I think it's just an amazing way to really help you boost your life, make you understand the areas of your life that you would like to change. I think it's a beautiful thing for your relationship. Just to be able to understand how you can deal with conflict is just a really beautiful thing. And I always say the best thing is to just get to know yourself. And I think an attachment style will tell you more than you're ready to hear. So today we're actually going to be going into anxious attachment styles. And the reason is because I have been anxiously attached for as long as I can remember, and therefore had to dig myself out of a really big anxious attachment hole. And that took a lot. And I can say now, I feel like I'm at the point where I could be what some could call a recovered anxious attached person. I do still have those areas in me that needs to be put under control. I have to pep talk myself all of the time. I have to go and research and take care of my mind and really learn about myself to be able to come forward. Because for me, when you are an anxious attached person, it consumes you, it takes over your life, and it's a really difficult thing to do, to be able to remove yourself from that, to become a securely attached person. If you don't know too much about the attachment styles, I can give a quick brief overview now, but however, we will be getting into just all about anxious attachment and how to heal yourself from it so you can start attracting better relationships, you can start having a more healthier relationship. Way more importantly, you can have a way more healthier relationship with yourself. And that is just the cherry on top. So there are 4 main attachment styles. There is anxiously attached, there is securely attached, there is avoidant, and then there is, I think it's like fearful avoidant. And I'm not going to go into the other ones too much. As I said, we are going to be going into anxious attachment. So if you would like to find out what one is you, then I have left a quiz below that I believe can really help you understand yourself and see which one suits you best. And then you can do the research and look into the different styles that suit you, but this one is very much anxious attachment. Let's get into it. Do you worry about being rejected? Do you worry that one day the person that you love so much is going to abandon you? Do you feel inadequate? Do you feel like you are not able to hold this person's love unless you are making massive movements and doing big things and being dramatic in order to keep this person? Do you feel insecure when this person is not responding to you quick enough? Do you feel insecure when you're not getting the attention that you feel you need from that person? Do you overthink small things in relationships and question, why has their mood changed? Why is their tone changed? They sounded fine before and now they sound like they're angry at me. Do you sometimes come off as clingy and needy? Do you wonder, why do they not want to spend time with me? Why are they spending time with their friends? Why are they going and seeing their family? Why would they not want to take me? Well, my friend, that means that you could be anxiously attached. I'm here to tell you 2 types of news. The first news is not so good. It's that anxious attachment is destroying your relationship. The second news is better. You can actually heal your attachment style, and I want to help you. The first thing you need to understand is that anxious attachment comes from your childhood. An attachment style is usually formed when you are very young, and it often forms when a caregiver is inconsistent. And for some reason, you cannot grasp onto that attachment. You cannot grasp onto that emotion. You can't grasp onto the love that you should have got. So you consistently seek for reassurance, and fear abandonment. It's the worst thing in the entire world. Maybe you got abandoned as a child. Maybe you felt abandoned as a child. You could have perceived something as abandonment, even if it wasn't. And this unpredictability, it teaches a child that they need to cling on to something because they're scared that it will do that same thing again and it will leave them. People who are anxiously attached actually fear abandonment so much, but they crave closeness. They can be in a relationship that is not tied to each other as one. They do not see themselves as worthy to be just one soul with another soul. You have to be like this. Hypervigilance with anxious attached people is crazy. They will absolutely know what's going on. Your tone has changed, the way you're speaking has changed to me, or I've recently realized that you haven't said I love you as many times as you said yesterday. And it is so tiring to be the person who's counting the I love yous, who's reading the text back and forth, who's wondering why that person maybe didn't smile at them enough. It's so hard, it's exhausting. And being with the person, yes, of course it's tiring, but to be the person in your own mind every single day is so tiring. Ultimately, people with anxious attachment styles are very low in their self-worth, and searching for validation is something that they become really good at. And if you become really good at something, even if it's bad for you, you will still continue to do it because you realize it's what you need. It's almost like an addiction. And anxious attached people have an addiction to validation. The problem, and one of the main problems I feel with anxious attachment, is that you start to repeat the cycles in every relationship. So you leave a relationship thinking that that was just bad and that was a toxic relationship. But you go into the next one with very much similar styles and similar repetition and the same type of habits. But that same relationship has mirrored that one. And then you start to kind of realize that maybe it is me. Am I the problem? Oh, sorry, I'm getting comfortable. But the fact you're here and you're watching this video tells me that you want to heal. You want to remove that anxious attachment from your life. You do not want to be in a position where you're relying on another person to make you happy. And I'm going to try and give you the tips or the words of wisdom to help you, because that makes me happy, because I have been in this situation. So let's actually go through a bit more of a personal route here. So I become anxiously attached because when I was younger, my parents divorced. And that divorce to me at that young age was a perceived abandonment, because even though my parents were very much in my life, the family unit was no longer there. So the abandonment happened at a very early age. Moving forward, one of my first boyfriends got hit by a car in front of me. And it was the most traumatic thing I've ever seen in my life. And we didn't know if he would make it alive, and it was an absolutely awful thing. That to me was like a perceived abandonment. It was something that I felt I'm continuously losing someone or something. Over time, there were a few different things in relationships where I felt that these people could leave me at any given moment. Over time, with maybe some difficulties I had during relationships and some of the things I had to endure with men, like a toxic relationship, it led me to being extremely insecure. I did not see the goodness in myself one bit. It was so difficult. I had no self-worth, and I really did rely on other people to make me feel validated and make me feel good. What I'm trying to say is I came from the bottom. I was right at rock bottom, where I would look at myself and I would just see hatred. I was lonely in my head. No matter how many people were around me, I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel good, and I was just trying so hard to be part of something. I wanted to be part of society. I wanted to be a happy person, and I just couldn't get there. And I was using men as a coping mechanism, but men were not a coping mechanism. Men were actually making the hole deeper. And that's because I should have had the time when I was using humans as a way to validate myself. I should have just been validating me, myself, and I on my own. And I don't want to give this information as if I'm like, you should leave your relationship because you need to deal with yourself. No, because this is extremely possible during a relationship. As long as the two people are actually wanting to get to a healthy point in their relationship, this is extremely possible to still have a relationship and heal from an anxious attachment style. The biggest thing that I had to do when it came to anxious attachment is reparent myself. Now, I want to preface this by saying my parents were amazing parents and they taught me so much, and I've had so many good experiences, and they are just the most beautiful people alive. They actually are just my world, and I'm so lucky that I get to have experiences like this with them. I'm so lucky I have parents like that. But on the other hand, I didn't realize the wounds that I had. I can't keep going to my parents. I can't keep resorting to somebody to parent me. I needed to parent myself. And this is a huge thing that I learned in therapy, is that we need to wake up every day knowing that we are taking care of ourselves. So if we are not around, we can't do anything. If we're not okay, we can't enjoy our life. So the people that we are anxiously attached to, or the person we're anxiously attached to, we can't be with them at our full best capability if we are down. So we have to every day make a decision to actually take care of ourselves. Reparenting yourself is speaking kindly to yourself and just gently uncovering your wounds and touching them and saying, hey, it's gonna be okay. You have to tell yourself and get used to giving yourself the love and attention and affection that you always needed. And this is such a difficult truth, because I know it's so much easier to go and run into their arms and tell them to love you and tell them to validate you. But why would they want to do that with full capability if you can't even do it to yourself? Because you've got the whole life to yourself. You've got the whole life to be with you, to love you, to appreciate you. The skin that you have all over your body, your hands, your eyes, everything is gonna keep coming and traveling with you throughout life. And it's always gonna be there. So you might as well get used to the skin you're in. You might as well get used to loving and leading yourself. You don't wanna make life difficult for yourself. Life is becoming difficult because you're leading and loving the skin of somebody else's. You do not need to do that. They are there and they are great, but you are great on your own too. It's a very difficult thing because you have to relearn patterns and relearn a relationship. You cannot just simply carry on with the same habits and expect different results. It's like a blueprint. It's telling you what's wrong with you. It's telling you what insecurities you have. It's a blueprint to being happy. If you feel jealous because your partner is friends with somebody and, I don't know, they're funnier. Sometimes they make people laugh more than you make people laugh. You've got to understand in your mind, why do I feel this bitterness that they are funnier than me? Why do I feel this bitterness that they are prettier than me? Why do I feel this bitterness? Why do I think that way? What makes me think that way? What makes me think that anyone is better or worse than me? And where is that wound inside of you? Where can you find that wound to really understand where that came from? Nothing just comes up, right? Insecurities are very rooted deep, and people say, I don't want to look too deep into that, but those people are the same people who either struggle with relationships even in their 30s and 40s, or they're the same people who never went to therapy. They're the people who never face themselves and they struggle to this day. I think the best thing you can do is pull those things up and face them. Understand why you have insecurities about that. For example, because I used to be extremely anxiously attached, I wouldn't understand why my partner wanted to do things without me. And it's not a case of that he actually just wanted to do things without me. He wasn't thinking in his head, I can't wait to do things without Caitlin. It was more of a case of I'm going to football, or I'm going out with my friend for a drink, or I don't know, I'm going for a walk, I'm going to the gym. I would feel like, what have I done to deserve sitting here alone and him not wanting to be around me? So you take everything as an insult, and it's so difficult because he just wanted to go to the gym. He just wanted to go out with his friend. He just wanted to do those things because guess what? He doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't owe me his time. He doesn't need to prove to me how great I am just by sitting next to me on the couch. He doesn't need to do those things. And you know what's really amazing? Neither do you. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. That is the cherry on top. Because at the end of the day, you can also do the things that make you happy too. You can have your own friends. You can have your own hobby. You can have your own life. You can have the things that you love to do. You can have your own favorite color. You can have your own music taste. You don't need to copy and attach yourself to somebody so that they like you, because the true you is somebody who's going to be so loved. You don't want to pretend to be something you're not just so that that person can want to hang out with you, because they should just want to hang out with you anyway. And this really correlates. So this is something that really helps me with anxious attachments. It's the let them theory. And it's by Mel Robbins, and I really encourage you to go and read the book or watch the podcast about it. It's a wealth of knowledge and it's so amazing, this theory. But the let them theory is practically letting somebody do what they're gonna do anyway, because you're controlling the behavior of this person. You're controlling who they see, what they do, what they say, how they argue with you, how they don't argue with you. You're going to notice something different in their facial expression and you're going to pick it up and say, oh, why have you changed that? I don't know. You're going to ask them questions to try and catch them out of certain things. One of the best things is that you just let them. And then you might say to me, but Caitlin, what if I get hurt? What if I let him and then he hurts me? Go, there's your answer. Life can be that simple. That's your answer. Now you know that he hurt you, and you can get someone better than that, because why would you want someone that hurts you anyway? And it's like, I wouldn't want someone like that. If you allow people to act how they're gonna act, this is your answer. Imagine somebody holding back from hurting you, holding back from cheating on you, holding back from lying to you, holding back from being who they are. All because you didn't let them. I would rather you just cheated on me. I would rather you go and do what you're gonna do. I would rather you be who you're gonna be. Truly, I don't want to find out 3 years down the line that you are this man who is disgusting and cheats and lies and can deceive me. I don't want to find out later down the line even that me and you are not compatible because I just morphed you into this person that you're not. Let them theory is the strongest thing you need to hold on. With an anxious attachment, you need to hold on to. This theory will change your life, because anxious attachment eats you alive because you are trying to control everything. The only things you can control is how you act, how you view things, and how you deal with the things that you've viewed afterwards. Let them theory, they say let them and then let me. So how am I going to deal with this? They've done what they need to do. They've told me what they need to do. They've done anything and everything that they wanted to do because they chose to. Now let me decide what I want to do with this information. Now let me decide if this is something I want in my life. The worst thing I think I could hear is when a man or a woman say, my boyfriend or my girlfriend wouldn't let me. I would love to, but my partner won't allow me. What do you mean? Because what I'm hearing here is that you would love to. You would love to. So why are you letting the anxious attached person control that? In my opinion, show that person who you are. I, as an anxious attached person, I want to see who you are. I want to see who you are for what you are. And I want it to be so real. Show me who you are in the actions that you take, in the way that you act, in the things that you say, your values, your morals. If I say, oh, I don't believe in this type of thing, I don't expect you to agree with me now. Because back then I would have been like, well, why doesn't he agree with me? Why can't he be the man I want him to be? Why is it that I expected him to change and be this amazing thing? And actually he was nothing like that. He wasn't even close to who that was. It's really funny because we always see potential, right? We see potential in people, especially as an anxious attached person. You're holding on, right? It has claw marks. You literally leave claw marks inside people's skin because you don't want to let them go. So you will see potential in absolutely anything. Okay, yeah, like he was nice to me yesterday, so it's fine. Or he said he doesn't like to do that after I've begged him not to do it, so that's good. At least he said he didn't like it. You hold on to things. And like I said, you leave your claw marks in everything. It's time to let the claw marks go. It's time to lift your claws and release, okay? Because the best thing you can do is to let go of all control. Let go of the idea that if you don't control something, it will go up in flames. That's just not the truth. The truth is that life is going to go the way life goes. And you can only control yourself and your behavior. You cannot control him. You can't control her. You can't control that. That's going to happen regardless of what you're going to do and say. Because if someone wants to cheat on you, they will. If someone wants to hurt you, they will. Even if you are putting them on a leash and telling them, don't you dare hurt me, you must validate me at all times, they are still going to hurt you. And if they don't hurt you to your face, they will do it behind your back. And then they will validate to your face. Because who are you to hold people down? You're not in control of anybody. You are this soul who is in control of yourself. Your soul and you is all you should be caring about. The anxious attachment, if it's anything, it should be over yourself. You should be so attached to the idea of who you're becoming, who you are, what job you have, what friends you have. Everything should be centered around you. You need to decenter men. You need to decenter a relationship. You need to detach. You need to realize your worth. Your worth is this shining star. It's this amazing, beautiful rainbow. And your worth is in the silver lining of everything. Like, you can get the job you want. You can go and get into the university you want. You can go and study for the thing you've been wanting to learn about. You can go out with your friends, your girlfriends, and have an amazing time. You can go and get some drinks, or you can go and have a cup of coffee with them. How often are you actually around girls these days? How often do you actually have feminine people around you who are bringing that femininity out of you and relaxing that horrible nervous system that you have inside? Because the nervous system is triggered all the time. If you live with a man especially, that nervous system is going to be triggered all of the time. So you actually feel on edge 24/7. And that's a really horrible feeling. So how often are you around nature? How often are you around women who lift you up and bring you up and make you feel good about yourself? How often are you actually thinking about you? Because to be honest, you should get a piece of paper, right? And you should write out how often you put in time to your relationship and him, and how often you put time into you. And I'm talking about everything from the way you look, from the inner work. How often do you sit there with a journal and ask yourself questions? How do you feel? Why do you think you feel this way? What do you think this emotion means to you? There's shadow work questions. I'm going to put them in the caption below. These things are going to get you closer to yourself. The first step you need to take, this is to get to know yourself. And to get to know yourself is to ask yourself questions. Don't show anyone these answers. Don't tell him that you're doing it. Just get your book and journal away. Get your notes on your phone, journal away. Talk to yourself. How do I feel about this? Why does this make me feel this way? And do you know how nice it is when something happens and you just let them? You say, you want to cheat on me? Fine. You want to go out with them instead of me? Fine. You think that she's better than me? Fine. You're not going to open the car door for me? For God's sake, fine. But don't expect me to be here for you forever. Because once you understand and establish that they're going to act the way people are going to act, regardless of what you've got to say, then you can build up the self-worth to leave the people alone when they've hurt you. I'm not telling you, just let people walk all over you and just let it happen. It's just easier if you just don't control anything. I'm telling you, let people show you who they are. Stop putting a mask on people, because people don't want to wear a mask. People want to show you who they are, and you want to see it, surely. Come on, be honest. It's really nice to finally see the light of who somebody truly is. And you really do see that when you let them. There is another side to this that's not so toxic as well. A lot of people are anxiously attached over their partner. So when they do start to let their partner do what they want, say what they want, just kind of let them, and they're not obsessive, they're not messaging them, they're not being clingy, their partner usually loves them more than they thought, because they're not suffocated. They have time and space to reflect, and they look at this woman and they think, wow, she's my woman. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's independent. I love that she goes and works on her own hobbies. I love her, like her drive when I come home and I see she's working, or I see she's doing this or that, and she's so passionate. We're decentering him. So automatically men will follow your footsteps. If you love yourself, a man will love you. If you hate yourself, he will also hate you. If you treat yourself bad, he will treat you badly too. You're setting the tone for the way you want people to treat you, especially men. And anxious attached people, because they're so attached and they're so anxious and they're so insecure, they will show, you're gonna breathe this insecurity over him. And he is just going to see you as somebody who's insecure, somebody who can't hold her own, somebody who's not very independent. Oh, you need to come here with me. Oh, I need to come here with you. Why didn't you want to do this with me? Why did you not text me back? Oh my God, if you say the words, why did you not text me back? They are forbidden for me. I don't care if you don't text me back. Not because I don't care about you, but because I can't control you. If you're busy at work and you're not texting me back, I'm doing other things. I'm busy too. So I'm not going to care about that because I'm busy, right? You're probably lucky if you got a text from me in the first place, to be honest, because I've got my own life, right? Because I've come from an anxious mindset, just a mindset that hated herself and found worth in herself from other people and texting and having something going all the time. And then I went to this secure person who I am today, who doesn't care about text back. I don't care if my partner left me tomorrow. Truly, I don't care, because I am so full in myself. I know in myself that I am everything I need. I wake up, I have everything I need. I go to sleep, I have everything I need. Kaylin is here and I can hold myself and I can love myself. Do you know what? It will be a huge pity, a massive pity if my partner left me tomorrow, because I love him so much. I love him. And that's the thing, you can love somebody and love yourself at the same time. You don't abandon yourself when you love someone else. If anything, you give yourself even more love. You give yourself even more appreciation. Okay, guys, if you feel anything about anxious attachment or anything in that kind of area at all, attachment style, leave your comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any tips or how you're feeling, any questions you have. I'd love to have a discussion. And if you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, please do feel free to subscribe and stick around with me. I'm going to be posting twice a week. And if you're into all things psychology, mental health, working on yourself, becoming the best woman you could ever be, then you're in the right space, and I'm really happy to have you. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'm so excited to see you in my next one. And if no one has told you today, I love you. But you should love yourself too.